We just saw Calvary, and on this show, I take my friends out, we go see a movie, we review it afterward in the car. The first half is spoiler-free. We just talk about whether we like the movie or not and who we would recommend it to. And the second half is more of a discussion, and that may get into spoiler topics. So if you're on the fence trying to decide if this is a movie you want to see or not, watch the first part. If you've already seen it or have decided that you're not interested and you just want to hear what our thoughts are about it, watch the second part. This was a very, very good movie. It's a drama. Has some very dark comedy to it that sort of keeps it from being really sort of moribund and morose. But it's very much an exploration of a lot of different things: faith and death and forgiveness and life, and a lot of things to do with not even necessarily the church, but things that people tend to associate with the church. Spirituality and relationships and those sorts of things. The performances are fantastic. The storytelling is really well done. It sets up a mystery and a ticking clock right from the beginning of who is it going to be that ends up killing Brendan Gleeson's character, the father, and the movie brilliantly doesn't let you know. It doesn't tell you who it is until the end. And it does such a great job of, all you know is that it's one of the male cast members. That's really all you know, and the majority of the cast is male. So I really enjoyed it. To me, it felt like an epic Western, sort of a almost like a Good, the Bad, and the Ugly kind of movie. Just the tone of it and how epic everything was, and how much acting and things there were in it. It wasn't so much like silent moments and kind of stare downs and that sort of thing, but it was very much a dark exploration of a bunch of different things, and in a way that kind of seems right set in Ireland and set with Catholic priests and that sort of thing. So I really enjoyed it. I would recommend it. If you get the chance to see it in the theater, please do. And this is one that it came out last week, and it kind of soft launched. It didn't get like an early showing, so I hadn't really noticed that it had come out, and then I wanted to get out and see it before this week's new releases come out. But I was just blown away. I had no idea it would be this good. So that's what I thought. What did you think? I
really enjoyed it too. I thought it was a really absorbing story for the reasons you said. But the other thing I really liked about it is, while there were a lot of characters, and they were, kind of that cast of people who could have done it, they were also, they were very multifaceted. Like, it wasn't just that woman who's cheating on her husband. I mean, like, you could, you didn't get each person's whole story, you got enough of it to understand that these were real people who had real struggles. They weren't just two-dimensional sort of caricatures of that small Irish town with the crazy drunk and the woman who's cheating on, they were...
Yeah, but there's like 9 people in the movie,
right.
and they did really developed them
all of them. Yeah, and I thought that was really impressive. That it not only was a really well-written story, but that each of those characters were completely developed as someone that you were interested in and invested in. And when you find out who it is, I mean, obviously you don't want the father to die, but it makes sense in the context of all of the things that have been set into place. Like, kind of figuring out how all of those people fit together and their histories. So.
Yeah. And there's plenty of, it really could be any of them. It's not, it makes sense when reveal who it is that's after him, but they could have made any choice, and I would have believed it. I would have bought into it. So, anyway, that's the short version of the review. Definitely go check out this movie if you get the chance to. And to get into a little bit more of a discussion, really, what else to say about it? Brendan Gleeson just blew me away. Just such a great performance. And there were a lot of other really good performances in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing I would say is that people shouldn't be scared off by it because they think it's going to be overly religious or overly preachy or I mean, I think the premise is that he is a priest in this small Irish town, but I don't know. I mean, the way he plays the priest is very real, I think. I mean, he's not judgmental, and he really is trying to relate to people where they are. So I don't think the religious overtones were too much, really.
Well, and I mean, it's the setup is that he's going to be killed because he was abused. The killer is going to kill Brendan Gleeson, the priest's character, because he's an innocent man, but
he's being punished for
for what happened to him when he was a kid, and how, as it turns out, that he didn't feel like people cared enough about the fact that the kids were abused by the church and all that kind of thing. Yeah, it's interesting because I think that there's probably, like you were worried, you're saying, don't worry about it being preachy or don't worry about it being religious. I actually think both sides will be afraid to watch this movie. Like, I think people that are religious will see the trailer and think it's a little too cheeky and that, they don't want to, feel guilty about the bad things that the church has been in trouble for. And that people on the other side, they might get scared off by the potential for it to become, overly religious. But also, I mean, the trailer points out that he's a father, in that he has children, and that he's been married before, which is also an interesting, gives you a little bit more dimensionality to his character, that he's not just this, regular, everyday sort of priest character. And that's also interesting, not just because my dad is actually a priest now.
Just drop that into the review. Well, and the other thing we talked about as we were walking out is that I think this will really be sort of a breakout role for Chris O'Dowd, that he's played the goofy British guy so much in The Office and sort of the rom-coms that he's been in, that this was a huge change for him, and he played it really well.
Yeah.
And I think he kind of has, he got to sort of show off his acting chops and really show his range a little bit more than he has had the opportunity. I
mean, comic actors tend to be very good. They just don't always get to break out like that.
Yeah.
And with this, I think it was, like, I actually watched, when I saw the trailers, I actually thought the scene where Chris O'Dowd says, I hope we don't get locked in here, we'll have to make love to keep warm.
Yeah.
That doesn't get a laugh in the movie, and it doesn't get a laugh in the trailer either here. And I wonder if that's different in, like, the UK, where people know Chris O'Dowd a little bit more, where they think, oh, he's the comic relief kind of character.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I expected. Like, I expected him to be like the one character that was just sort of a goofball, and he's just as darkly comic as the rest of them, but then it turns out that it's actually him that was abused and is after Brendan Gleeson and burned the church down. And And what happened to the dog?
But he didn't kill the dog.
Yeah, we'll never know.
He would never do that.
We'll never know. Well, anyway, that's Calvary. Hope you enjoyed these reviews. Please like the video if you do, and subscribe. Check out all our written and video reviews at dalemaxfield.com. And thanks for watching.
Night.